In this video, we're discussing how to build a sustainable content strategy that you can implement into your business that will allow you to show up visibly every single day, make those connections with your ideal clients, and of course, sell daily so that you can build and scale your business. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and below this video in the descriptions is going to be a bunch of resources that I'm going to be discussing. So feel free to take a look and see if any of those can help you in terms of building out your own content strategy. So the first thing to understand is everything starts with consistency. If you're not consistent, you can't possibly sell consistently. You can't possibly make connections consistently. So it starts by understanding what's called the compound effect. This book, Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, is a great read for understanding the principles of compounding success. It's learning that snowball effect so that every little thing that you start with eventually builds that snowball that allows you to go from struggling business to overnight success. So one really understands how the principles of consistency work. So I highly recommend taking a read for that. So the first thing to understand when it comes to a sustainable content strategy is it has to work for you. There are a million and one people out there who will tell you you must do XYZ in order to have a proper strategy or to be able to show up online consistently. But ultimately, it comes down to you. You need to make something that works for your abilities, your life, your time frames, et cetera, et cetera. So the biggest thing is if it doesn't work for you, it's never going to work for you. You will never show up consistently. So the first thing you want to do is really ask yourself, how much time do you want to spend every day getting visible? Do you want to spend 5 minutes doing it? Do you want to spend a half an hour doing it? Now, when we talk about daily, this is understanding that once you have things in place that can help behind the scenes, essentially you want to have this number relatively low. We don't want to spend 4 hours trying to get visible online. The next thing is, what can you commit to daily to get visible? And be really honest with yourself. If you are someone who is adamant video is not for you, then you might have to make adjustments on what that visibility looks like in other methods. Now, video, of course, is the number one driver of all visibility right now. All the platforms are basically at video. So this might be something where you have to get out of your own way and be able to film. However, choose the platforms that you want to show up on. What are platforms that you can commit to daily to show up on? What kind of content do you want to have? Do you want to have long form content? Do you have short form? Do you want to send emails to an email list? How can you show up and engage with your audience daily? All of these things is what's going to start that framework for building your content strategy plan. So really sit with that and ask yourself, what am I willing to do daily? What am I willing to put out daily? Am I willing to be on 2 platforms? Am I willing to be on 10 platforms? And be really honest in what you can do right now for consistency. The next thing is, what are systems and tools that you can have in place that will make getting visible much easier on you? Now, in the beginning, as you're building this, obviously it's going to take more time just to build the framework, to have all of these things in place so that once it's done, visibility becomes an easy thing that you can lather, rinse, repeat going forward. So things like using Canva for graphics or even for reels, being able to edit video if you choose. Platforms like CapCut on your phone can work really well, or being able to understand how to film directly in platforms like Instagram Reels or TikToks. Platforms that can help you schedule content out. I use Metricool, which is fantastic for being able to map out my content and allowing me to reuse content over and over again. And then if you are looking to build emails, an email list to get people onto your email list and go from there, you need an email platform that's going to help you. And one of the ones that I recommend is MailerLite, which is a free mailing platform for, I think, the first 1,000 subscribers to your list. So very easy to get started with. Once you have these things in place, this then becomes a lather, rinse, repeat cycle. And building your content is not reinventing the wheel every single time. So what I like to do is when I film something, is if I can take that transcript and make it into an email, or if I can pull out bullet points to put on threads, or if I can figure out ways to break the video up into smaller chunks as well. Taking that one piece can allow me to have 10 or 15 other pieces of content from it. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. You don't need to film the same thing over and over again to get your message across. You can reuse it. You can re-say it differently. You can put it on different platforms. So having a scheduler will allow you to be able to do this fast and effectively and have a system that runs in the background on Evergreen so that you are always consistently online, even when you aren't. And that allows you to show up daily for 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day and really frees up the time for you going forward. So really something to consider in terms of that. The biggest thing that business owners will struggle with in terms of staying consistent is things are going to get hard. At some point, you're going to feel like I am doing everything I can and nothing is working. I want to give up. This is terrible. Whatever, BS that you're telling yourselves. So you need to have some things in place for when your brain is going, you need to give up. This is not for you, et cetera, et cetera. This is the difference between those who succeed and those who give up, is you're hitting that wall of resistance and you have to break through that in order to become that quote overnight success that you see online. So understand visibility grows confidence. The more you create content, the more you show up, especially on video, the more confidence you're going to gain being able to continuously show up. Consider content is to serve others. It's not to seek validation. So consider putting out content that your ideal clients need to hear from you. And keep in mind that someone in the future is manifesting working with you. So if you are not showing up and providing value for them right now, they're not going to be there 6 months when they really need you because they don't know who you are. Really pay attention to not only the people who are engaging with your content, but when people reach out to you that you have no idea where they came from, that's usually when your content is doing a really great job, believe it or not. Your ideal client often is not the one who is engaging all the time. They're oftentimes your ideal clients are the ones who are watching behind the scenes and will just jump out of the woodwork and offer to work with you. In fact, I've had this a couple times with clients in the past. I had clients that watched my content and instantly signed up for a $4,000 a month package. So be really honest with yourself on what you can do consistently, what systems that you have to have in place to help you stay consistent, and what you need to remind yourself of when shit hits the fan and you want to give up. That is it for today. I hope this helps and resonates with you, and we'll see you in the next video.